Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Joker channel. I'm Joker. How y'all been? I'm good. Yeah, smoking again. Real fucking great habit. You know, if I ever had one piece of advice for anybody, don't fucking start doing anything you really don't have to. No, what I mean by that is like, if at all possible, don't ever start smoking, dipping tobacco, nothing, unless don't do any of that shit. That shit's or even vaping, for Christ's sakes. If at all possible, try not to do any of that shit. Now, if all you do is smoke weed, well, kudos for you, because that's probably the healthiest thing, other than drinking water, you're gonna do with yourself. Like anything, like you're gonna take into your body like that. So, anyways, how's it going, everybody? Sorry for the fucking line. I'm outside smoking. I really can't smoke in my house, and I wanted to make a video. I'm doing pretty well. I mean, same shit, just different day. You know, I'm trying to make it to where you guys can fucking see me, but the light isn't killing you. Oh, right there. So, how y'all been? Like I said, for me, it's been the same shit every. So, can't show y'all. Oh, fucking A. Right here. Here we go. I'll stand like right here. There. Oh. Perfect place. You guys can see me. My bright, shiny fucking face. Oh. Well, you guys can't see, but I'm getting a little growing a beard, surely but surely but slowly. Story of my fucking life. I get hated on. The haters gonna hate because of my baby face. But I'm growing a beard, surely but, slowly but surely. That's how the proper saying goes. Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. That's probably gonna be my famous, my last fucking words. On my tombstone is gonna read, "He said, fuck it." Probably my famous last words. Fuck it. They are my famous last words. Just how it is. I mean, fuck. Don't y'all have famous fucking, famous words? Like, everybody can say mine's fuck it. And then usually, I do some dude shit, and then I end up paying for it later. Story of my fucking life, right? Yep. But anyways, how y'all been? I hope good, If you're new to the channel, welcome to the fucking channel. And let me give you a little spiel about what this channel is about. Anything and everything that happens upside my bristle, it comes out on YouTube. It's been a fucking minute since I've made one. I got some shit to talk about. Like, okay, so major thing happened. I got a PlayStation 4. Major to me, but, really not something to write home about. But my daily life, fucking boring as fuck. It's something that I would kind of say, like, yeah, I got a PlayStation 4. Just briefly bring up. Now, for everybody that doesn't know, Joker is probably one of the brokest motherfuckers you'll ever know. It's not that I just don't have money all the time. I'm not fucking rolling in the dough, but my family's not fucking rolling in the dough, but we're average, middle class, working family, and the PlayStation is not fully just mine, it's the family's. Biggest misconception I ever hear from everybody is they go, "Joe, you're broke, you should," they always tell me, "You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that." And it's like, why, Just because I keep staring up over here, but I'll show. Sorry. People go, "Well, you're broke, you shouldn't buy that, you shouldn't do this." You know what? I've met some people that are broker than my family, that buy a lot of shit, and you're like, how can you do this? And a lot of it's not cheap shit. Granted, the PlayStation 4 is not fucking cheap by any fucking means, but you know what? For all you guys that don't know, tax time just rolled in. Fucking family got taxes. That's what we bought. we really don't get a whole lot for Christmas. The family doesn't. And when we do, I still live at home, and I, still live with my family, so I still get those kind of perks. But I don't think my mom will ever stop buying Christmas presents for us kids. My grandma never stopped buying Christmas presents for her kids. Not even until, but it just turned out like not how like we were as, kids. But the biggest misconception is just because you're broke doesn't mean that you can't buy nothing. It just takes longer for you to buy it. And just because you're broke doesn't necessarily mean you don't have the money for it. It might mean that you don't have the money for it now, but just means you gotta save up to buy it. And it's pretty much what my family would have done if we didn't get taxes. And that's what my family's done. I've done that for years. Like anything really that I've bought myself, like big ticket items or anything like that, I've saved up for. So I've just never had the money to go out and do stuff right away. Hence why, I say broke, doesn't necessarily mean I don't have money. It's just I don't have money for all those, purchases and other shit that people can do right away. I just end up having to save up for it and get it later. Broke is kind of like the layaway type of thing. Yeah, I'm smoking another one. But another thing I want to talk to you guys about. So I've had this theory for a long ass time. My iPod's about to die, but let's see how far it goes. Now I've coined this myself. I was thinking one day, I was looking at a Rubik's Cube, and I was like, if you really think about it, you can use kind of the same equation that you use to solve a Rubik's Cube 100% of the time for life, technically, in theory. For all of you guys that don't know, how you solve the equation to solve a Rubik's Cube is called an algorithm. But in a Rubik's Cube, the algorithms is a series of turns. In life, it's a series of choices. Now, I've looked at my life through this theory and gone, well, the basic possible outcome that my life can go for is either I become rich and die, or I, live off and be okay, or I become fucking same situation I am now, but only I live on my own, shit like that. You get it. Goddamn, somebody needs to fucking put some WD-40 on a fucking door. But anyways, I used this, and I looked at my life using this theory. Looked at all the choices, and it led me to this kind of place, because I've always been the type of person to wonder, and I've never really planned on anything. Because one thing I've learned over my 22, almost 23 years of life is that whenever I fucking plan anything, it never goes according to my plan. A lot of you guys can attest to that. It's just a fact. Not everything goes to plan. Absolutely, probably 80% to 85% to almost 90% of the time, nothing goes according to plan. Now, I'm not saying you plan to go shopping one day. Usually that happens 99% of the time. But what I mean is like big things like plan what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Well, if you're like Joe, you really want to do a shit ton of things. Well, using this theory, I've kind of calculated where I want my life to be. In the range. I want to live in Washington. And for all you guys why do you want to live in Washington? Well, I can grow weed and smoke weed legally there. Yes. Yes, that's where I want to do. Yeah, of course, I want to grow for personal use, but I want to sell it. I want to be in that type of industry. I want to be in that type of environment. Now, people are like, why would you want to do that? Well, for me, I've learned, I've studied so much about this plant and the effects that if I were to studied as hard as I did in high school and other things, I would have been a straight A fucking student, but I really wasn't interested in a lot of 90% of the shit they were learning, because as I got older, I found out 90% of the shit I was learning in high school and school in general, other than my, the elective courses that I was picking myself, I would never use beyond the basic, simple form that I learned in elementary school. It's just how it is. But using this algorithm, basically, the theory goes that you can kind of calculate where you're going to, the outcome, say, stages, kind of like using the Rubik's Cube. Usually you solve one side before you solve the rest of them. You usually solve side by side. Now, it doesn't exactly work like that. It's just a theory. But using this basic theory, the basic concept of the theory, I've looked at my choices and going, well, based on my choices that I've made so far, my best outcome, would be to move to Washington. That's saying that it doesn't become legal nationwide and where I live, which I'm hoping. Absolutely best outcome ever, because then I can get started a lot fucking sooner on this and where I want to be in life. And where I want to be in life is where I'm the happiest the most, and then I fucking die. The outcome of every life equation you can plug into my theory is you're gonna fucking die. Just how it is. Kind of like if you search up diseases on WebMD, every outcome is death. That's why you should never look up at that shit if you're ever sick. Because trust me, if you don't know what you're looking for, 90% of the time, or I should say 99% of the time, you're going to come up with some fucking out-of-the-box type of shit that you don't even have. So, that's kind of what I want to talk about. And I've coined this. I've talked to my friend who's had a lot more schooling than I have, gone to college, and he's like, in theory, it's a really great fucking theory, but he's like, in turn, there's a lot of different things, and I'm like, well, yes, but that's where the Rubik's side comes out. And he's like, if you could get to someone to actually talk about this, they might actually fucking go, that's either really stupid or really genius. But, for me, I've looked at my choices, and I've looked at what I've learned and what I do know, and honestly, for me, personally, I've looked at where I'd be happiest, and that's what I'd be happiest doing, because honestly, I've thought about this for years. A lot of people don't know this. I think about shit constantly, and most people who know me is like, you talk a lot, but honestly, I think about 10 times as much as I say. It's not a plan. It was really go according to plan. I'd be rich as fuck. I'd own my own mountain. And I'd build me a 10,000 volt fucking fence like in Jurassic Park around my fucking mountain. So I could be like, fuck you guys, I don't want to deal with anybody. Right now with fucking great ass internet. But that's just me. But basically, where I want to end up in life is I want to be able to, where I want to, interact with people that like marijuana and that type of aspect. That's been what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, for a lot of my adult life. But I've never come out and said that to anybody, because I always really cared about what people thought of me, and honestly, I said I didn't, but a little piece of me, like everybody else, I did, and it really hasn't gotten me anywhere. Because when it comes to stuff like this, it's not about what other people think of you, it's what you think about it yourself. And I personally think, once I start doing it, that will be the happiest time of my life, because I'll be somewhere where I'm able to do something that I'm know decent amount about. interact with people similar to like mind, you know, and do something that I'm happy to do every day. And honestly, that's what it comes down to. You know, I can say like marijuana helps me do a lot of things. Like, ever since I started losing weight and stuff and going down that road, you know, my stomach hurts me a lot more. And honestly, I find that it helps my stomach better with that, regulates my system better. Being overweight as I am. I'm gonna smoke another one because I'm talking and shit, but being overweight, my back is all out and shit. Been out since I was in high school. That helps me sleep. I can go on and on about what it helps me with. But honestly, I guess the biggest fucking reason is it helps me cope with the things around me. Because for all of you guys that don't know, let me give you a piece of a little personal information. I'm pretty much kind of like a shut-in. I love being social, but at the same time, I really hate dealing with people. And there's a big difference kind of being social and hating to deal with people. Being social is every once in a while, of my choosing, I like to go out, greet new people, meet new people, like-minded people, I should say. But I hate the general populace as a whole because I find them rather boring and rather not a whole lot of people that I like. And